I was born and raised in Pakistan, and whenever somebody asked me abroad where I am from and I told them Pakistan, there were a number of different reactions. For a very long time, they would relate to me by saying that, oh, Pakistan, I know about Pakistan because I know about like Benazir Bhutto, the first women prime minister of Pakistan. But I think it all took a really big nosedive in 2011 when Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan and killed. And I mean, this news spread throughout the world along with Pakistan's name. People who never really knew about Pakistan came to know about Pakistan in conjugation with this news. And I think that since then, our reputation has never really recovered. Since majority of my audience is Western, I want to talk about 5 facts that would absolutely really surprise you about Pakistan. And without waiting, let's just jump really into it. Number 1, the world's largest volunteer ambulance service is in Pakistan. This service consists of more than 5,000 vehicles, 2 private jets, 1 helicopter, and scores of boats as well. This service is run by Eidi Foundation, which was founded by Abdul Sattar Eidi in Pakistan. Abdul Sattar Eidi was born in India, but he moved to Pakistan immediately after Pakistan was founded. In his biography, it is written that he started his philanthropic journey by actually picking roadkill, like dead animals from road that nobody would really take care of. From that, he created a health unit, a dispensary, and from there the process started. Now the thing is that this whole infrastructure is actually run through charity. They have no fixed like specific income, no government is sponsoring them. It's all run through charity. He even sent $100,000 back in 2005 for the victims of Hurricane Katrina in USA. Now it is said that whenever he was short on money, he would actually just go out to the streets and ask people for money. And people had such a huge amount of trust and admiration for this guy that they would just shower him with cash. One of my absolutely favorite moments from Abdul Sattar Eidi's life is this picture that you see on your screen right now. In this picture, Abdul Sattar Eidi is going in the ambulance and there is one guy on the motorcycle who's actually saluting him. And this to me is like the pinnacle of admiration for any person, the pinnacle of respect for any person that can be gained in this world. That guy actually gained that, and I don't understand why he wasn't really nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. So there you have it. The world's largest volunteer ambulance service is run in Pakistan, absolutely on charity. Number 2, Pakistan has one of the oldest, most technologically advanced civilizations at that time here. This civilization happened more than 9,000 years ago, and this originated in the city in Balochistan, one of the states of Pakistan, and the city's name was Mehergarh. This civilization, which is called the Indus Valley Civilization, at that time spanned more than 1 million people. And this is the time where the global population was not more than 5 million people. Those people actually had settlements, they had concrete houses, they had actual sewage, they had bathing ponds. Those guys were at the pinnacle of technological advancement at that time, almost 9,000 years ago, when you had the woolly mammoth still roaming the earth. Now there is a lot of research that is done on the city of Mehergarh. But there are 2 things that absolutely really stood out to me and I want to share them with you. Number 1, one of the most exciting discoveries from the city of Mehergarh was this copper amulet that was more like an ornament to be worn by people. Now, it's not really that what that copper amulet was made of, it was more about how it was made, because the analysis has shown that it was actually casted. There is a technique that is still used, which is called the lost wax technique. Lost wax is a technique to make a mold out of wax and then use it to create multiple copies of the same product. Those people at that time were using lost wax technique to make these ornaments. Now, this is one of the oldest proofs of casting that we know of. Number 2, those people actually had dentists and they knew about dentistry. I mean, the analysis of the skeletons and the teeth have shown that those people were actually drilling molars and premolars to prevent the cavities and pain like we have in the current day and age. Those people had actually drill bits that would drill a hole 3.5 millimeters. That's like very, very small, like 3.5 millimeters in the molars and premolars of the people people who had these cavities. This was actually reproduced, and in this picture that you can see right now, it is a replication of the process. A flint drilling tip was mounted on a rod, and then a bowstring was used to rapidly rotate it. And that resulted in less than a minute of these holes that we see. It was definitely a very, very painful procedure, and it is said that they had some kind of anesthesia that they would actually use. What is really interesting to me is that this wasn't just restricted to the elite circles of, this civilization. It actually was commonly used for even women and children and people who didn't belong to that high caste society. It's absolutely amazing to see that this thing was more than 6,000 years old and people were practicing dentistry in Pakistan, in present day Pakistan. Number 4, Pakistan has the highest number of glaciers outside of the polar circles. Pakistan has more than 7,000 glaciers. That's right, like more than 7,000 glaciers exist in Pakistan, and that number is the highest number outside of the polar regions. Now, these glaciers are primarily located in the northern part of Pakistan, in Gilgit-Baltistan and the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. And these glaciers actually form the source for the Indus River, which is like the foundational, which is the birthing point, which is the reason for the whole civilization that existed here since 9,000 years ago. So these glaciers are not extremely important for the ecology and the whole well-being of this whole region. Interesting part here is that the word India is derived from the word Indus, and technically we are Indians too, because we have the river Indus here in Pakistan. The Baltoro Glacier is more than 63 kilometers long and one of the biggest glaciers outside of the polar circle, and it has some stunning landscape with like all the tallest peaks in the world, like the Karakoram 2, which is the K2, the second highest peak in the world, and all the other peaks that are the top 10 in the world are in this landscape. It's absolutely amazing, and it's absolutely a very good hiking spot for people from across the world who come here to witness this absolutely majestic thing. So if you ever want to see what true mountains and scenery really looks like, then you should definitely come and see the northern parts of Pakistan. It's still a hidden gem, and it might be a great time to visit before it becomes inundated by tourists, as has happened in India. Number 5, and we are going back again to the province of Balochistan, to the city of Ziyarat there. If you go outside of Ziyarat, you will see the world's second largest juniper forest. Now, the interesting thing about this forest is not really that it's the world's second biggest juniper forest. This world has some of the oldest trees that exist in the world, between 5,000 to 7,000 years old, and those trees are actually called the living fossils by the people living there. Now, the world's oldest living tree in the world is almost 9,000 years old in Sweden. Those trees are actually regenerated because those are called like clonal, so they have their whole tree and bark and leaves, everything gets shedded, and then it grows again every a couple of hundred years. And the same is true for the Ziyarat juniper forest as well. But through the analysis of the roots, you can actually find the real age of how old those trees really are. This Ziyarat juniper forest has actually been declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and I hope to visit it someday and witness it through my eyes myself. So there you have it. These are 5 facts that you might not have known about Pakistan. I hope that it changes your viewpoint about Pakistan somewhat. I know we have a lot of problems. I know there are a lot of issues in this country, but that's the thing. You have to find something positive to talk about as well. And this, I believe, are the things that everyone should know in Pakistan and outside of Pakistan as well. Take care and see you in the next one.